What's going on, everybody? Double Check FX Sports Code coming at you with another video. Shout out to all who have liked and subscribed to the channel thus far. Do appreciate all the likes and subscribes. Just wanted to hop on today and make a video about how we're doing, right? We're checking in. We're week 16 of the 18 out of 18 NFL games weeks throughout the season. So wanted to check in with you guys a couple weeks before the playoffs begin. And as things look right now, it's about what we said, right? From the very beginning, right? We liked the Chiefs to win the top seed. You know, they're right there as the number one seed. Lions are at that number one seed, which made sense for us all the way through. And now the Packers are around that 5 to 6 seed that we were talking about, right? We said 5 at the beginning of the season. They're right now currently 6th and believe they will end up in the 6th position. We're going to go into that a little bit here. This last Monday night game really gave us some indicators that we've been talking about and was waiting for, right? We were waiting for some reassurance to believe that, you know, they're really selling the Lions, they're really selling the Eagles, you know, the Vikings have a better record. The Packers have a 10-4 record, yet they're third place in their own division, which is, they've lost twice to the Lions. So they're massively underselling the Packers and they're massively selling the Lions, which is a good sign because if they had split the season series, I'd be a little nervous because I think that would send Detroit through. But a lot of people are big believers in Detroit now, including the gematria community. And I think they're getting fooled. Like, you fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you, you know. So last year truly was a huge upset with Dan Gamble. We did a breakdown video long ago about that one with 24/7, the casino, Dan Gamble. Today we wanted to hop on, want to go over some notes. I made another presentation for our Packers NFC Championship preview. So this was at the end of the game, Seattle game, Monday night or Sunday Night Football. Notice number 56, he got a game ball. Number 8, Josh Jacobs. And then notice they're not showing Jordan Love's number, right? So they're highlighting 56 and number 8. On that day, it was 56 days until the eventual Super Bowl, which is also 8 weeks. So they wanted you to know, hey, they're coming. They're going to be there, you know? So I think that was a big clue for us and wanted to keep going on this theme because it's hard for me to believe it won't be Packers and Chiefs. You know, there are just too many things that are aligning with this, including the amount of points for and the points against the Packers have. So I wanted to go into this here. This brought the Packers record to 10-4, 10-4, roger that. And also, oddly enough, Rodgers is 4-10. You know, the Rodgers Janus, we talked about that. So their reflective records, the Packers 10-4, the Jets 4-10. Now, notice the points for. This is very important here. Points for 379 and points against 278. Now, while that does not look like much to the human eye on paper, when you actually put those two numbers together, it actually is a really interesting thing. Now, let's look at that number, 279,287. This number is divisible by 11 and twins. So what I'm getting at is if you were to count those spaces, so 1, 3, 9, 17. So if you go 11 spaces up, so 1, 3, 9, 17, 37, 51, 67, 111, 153, 201, 333. That's the 11th space. Now, if we go the other direction, starting with that high number, all the way down 11 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, you land on 1139. You know, so 333 times 1139. Now, where have we talked about this before? Where have we seen this number before? Oh, yeah, that's right. The very beginning of the video, the season, we made videos about John Madden and Nicolas Cage and how John Madden is deeply rooted and connected to this upcoming Super Bowl. Now, Nicolas Cage is also going to be playing John Madden in a movie coming up here. And here, I just want to show you this. Here's a picture of him. That's how easy it can be to make someone look like someone. Isn't that crazy? He's in a fat suit. I just don't see that being his actual body. I just thought that was funny just to hop on. They're making that movie now that we were talking about. But back to this video here. Now, notice twins in Latin is 1139, just like we talked about on this divisible. I hope this makes sense to you guys, because you just got to go back, look it up. It'll make sense. Just take your time. And from the death of John Madden to the day of the Super Bowl game is 1139 days, just like the word twins. It's solidifying what we've been saying from the very beginning of this season. It's all starting to come up to fruition, right? It's starting to look good. The doubts are in for the Packers. They're really pushing the Lions. Everybody's like, "Oh, the Lions." Yeah, no, they're no. I know Motown 59. It's just not happening, and it's because of this. Because we talked about this. Bartlett Brian Starr, his full name, will come into handy in a second. His birthday is January 9th, right? And then January 9th is also known as the Festival of Janus. We've talked about this extensively in our videos. Janus, the god of doorways, right? The door, the arch, right? The St. Louis archway. It comes in handy here at the end of this video. So we have our Super Bowl breakdown video at the beginning of the year. Go back and watch it. It's the first of 2 decodes. It's going to be about 3 months ago. So take a look at that. Notice he died at the age of 85, which is also the word twins. So this is starting to look really good. Again, what are the chances? You got to ask yourself, what are the chances that that is exactly how many points for and against that they have? Remember, Patrick Mahomes scored 330. He passed for 333 yards during Super Bowl 58. So let's keep going. Now, of course, Janus is, looks into the future and looks into the past, right? So this is Bart Starr on the left. You notice the ram horn as well. And then Patrick Mahomes looking into the future. Now, the phrase Brian Bartlett in Latin equals 931. And then notice Janus equals 931 as well. The perfect match syncing up with his name, whose birthday is the Feast of Janus. And he's number 15. Patrick Mahomes is also number 15, right? Again, he won 3 in a row. His 4th championship was against the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes going to win his 4th against the Packers. I just don't see how it can't happen. Anyway, we're just going to keep going with this video. Now, John Madden has been tributed during the Thanksgiving games the last 3 seasons. Notice he's even on the coin, which has another Janus tribute to him. So he wins Super Bowl 11, right? He wins Super Bowl 11. Of course, Janus equals 11, right? Now, he's on the coin. You got to ask yourself, there's a Turduncan, and notice there's the John Madden head, right? The face of the NFL, right? So there's a lot of just Janus tributes, and notice that during this Thanksgiving, the Packers had a home game. Like, when have the Packers ever had a home game on Thanksgiving? I don't think they ever have, because it's always been Detroit and Dallas. And of all the teams they picked this year, they picked Green Bay, right? Now, what was more interesting, is this quote here. This is a John Madden quote. There's something solid about Green Bay. There's tradition. So there's something to hold on to, right? So there's a tradition, just like they're building a tradition with Thanksgiving Day games. I wish there were more Green Bays. He was a very big fan of Brett Favre. And again, I've talked extensively about how, Brett Favre and Jordan Love, Brett Favre plus Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love equals each other, right? Because Brett Favre went 1-1. Aaron Rodgers is 1-0. And with a loss, Jordan Love can go 0-1 to complete the Janus tribute. What also is interesting is the score of that game, right? The Dolphins lost to the Packers by the score of 17-30. Of course, you take away the 0, and that gives us 17-3, right? And Patrick Mahomes, assuming they're locking up the first seed, right? We can't assume, but it's looking good. They're probably going to take home seed number 1. He wins the divisional game. He wins the AFC Championship game. That now makes his record 17-3, entering against Green Bay, right? I don't know. This is just a lot of stuff today unpacking, right? And it goes back to the AFL versus the NFL merger game we're going to talk a little bit about right here. First World Championship game, Kansas City and Green Bay. Now, if it's not for this game, this may never happen, right? It was called the Supergame. Notice the word in the phrase Supergame right over here. Supergame over here equals 105, right? Supergame. So Patrick and Bart represent the Twins and must complete the three-peat. Bart Starr won fourth championship against Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes can win his fourth championship against Green Bay. Again, the Nickelodeon series features SpongeBob and Patrick Starr, right? It's because he's facing one direction, he's under a rock, right? So he's facing the other direction, right? It's a star. It's a 5-pointed star. Okay. No coincidence there. All right. So Supergame. And notice that the Chiefs defeated the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship game. I mean, what a better game than that one to have this year. I just don't see how that can't be the actual game as well. Now, what's also interesting, I was talking a little bit about this playoff seeding, how they're actually going to go with this. Packers will most likely get the 6th seed and play 3rd seed Los Angeles. I like that game. That way, Super Bowl I took place in Los Angeles. Now, their first opponent they can beat in Los Angeles. Attribute this. So I like the Packers and Rams to face off in a 3 versus 6 matchup, and going obviously with the Packers in that game. Rams are going to have a strong finish per usual. They seem to always do. I think the Bucks are going to drop to the 4th seed right here, as you see. That sets up Bucks Vikings. Again, that's a good game. Pirate ships, Viking ship. I think it's a good matchup. They used to be divisional opponents. Now they're playing a non-divisional game. So I think that's a good game because that's a very toss-up type of game for the public. Could be the Bucks. Now it makes it interesting with the Vikings and the Bucks there. And then let's not forget about the Commanders in the 7th spot. I think high probability that Commanders could beat number 2 seeded Eagles twice, right? Don't sleep on the Commanders because I think the Commanders could make some noise in the playoffs and at least make it to play against Detroit in the 2nd round. So just don't sleep on them. Now, remember, this is just a recap. I wanted to go back and talk about David Francis because I believe he has a big piece to this riddle. Notice David Francis, he was the organizer of the St. Louis Expo or Louisiana Purchase Exposition, right, in 1904. He was also the 27th governor of Missouri, right? So going back to where was I going? Going back to this, he died on the same day that the Super Bowl was held 40 years ago, right? So 1927 to 1967 is a span of 40 years. This year, Super Bowl is played on the 40th day of the year in tribute. And then notice the last time the Chiefs and Packers played, the score was 19 to 27 in commemoration to, I believe, this guy. So that's just my thought on it. And again, some more visuals for us today. Now, this is a picture of the St. Louis Fairgrounds. St. Louis Fairgrounds. And I put in here the exposition operated until December 1st, 1904. Now, why that's important is because from that date to the date of Super Bowl 59 is a span of exactly 43,900 days. I've been talking about this in the last video as well. This is just a condensed version, trying to put it all together, make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing to you guys. See it? Now, the Fleur de Lis connects to the New Orleans Saints and very important to the riddle. Again, Matt LaFleur, very important symbolism. City of New Orleans, head coach for the Green Bay Packers, Matt LaFleur, right? Fleur de Lis. Now, why is that? Because the phrase Fleur de Lis equals 439, just like it'll be a span of 439 days since the World's Fair, started by promoter David Francis. Okay? And beginning, the word beginning, and Fleur de Lis. The word beginning, the Chiefs won Super Bowl 54, right? Packers won Super Bowl 45. Now, the Latin is 159. This is what I've been saying. In the beginning, they played each other in Super Bowl 1. Now, to bring it all home, they could play each other again in Super Bowl 59 because, to me, it's the best option for the game moving forward. You have the legendary Green Bay team. Again, the reason it all began was because of them. And now the Chiefs can bring it home, knock out their three-peat against the Packers. again, the Lions would be cool. It's just super. I don't think it's realistic, and no one wants to see the Eagles. And again, if it's against the Vikings, it's kind of boring with Sam Darnold. I, I don't know. This is the best game for a lot of reasons, and mainly because it all comes together, connecting back. Bart Starr, Janus, 3 for 3. Patrick Mahomes goes 3 for 3. The tribal chief takes it home, right? Janus twins, big connection there from that game. I was waiting for a video for this to make sense so I could show you guys based on their numbers, based on their points for, because what are the chances that this is their points for? You sometimes have to, they leave the details in there for you to figure out. Sometimes you can't see it, but the big picture's there. And that's why I like, them highlighting 56-8 and Jordan Love for this upcoming, 8 weeks from now. So hope you guys liked the video. Again, let me know your thoughts about this. Again, let me know what you're thinking. I like the Chiefs to win the 1 seed, the Packers to get the 6th seed. I like Packers to beat the Rams. Then, that sets up, they're the 6th seed. So they would, I don't see how the Commanders could upset the Eagles, or it could lead to a game with, I think the Commanders beat the Eagles because now it's Commanders Lions in the divisional round. And then it's either Packers Vikings or Packers Bucks. I like that game. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on how this is going to run out. But Double Check FX Sports Code coming at you. Hope you guys enjoyed the video presentation. I hope to see you guys for another video soon, and take care. Have a great rest of your day.